Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I asked what this conversation was going to be about, and what I heard is everything is stacking up for you. Give me 1 second because everything's stacking up right now. um, oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. All right. Let's get started. Let us get started. Sorry. It's been a crazy day, but not in a bad way. Just very productive. Very, very, very productive. So it's a good thing. I would say it's a good thing. Let's see what is stacking up for us. Hopefully, it's something amazing. That face. I didn't even see the face I made, but I felt it. I felt the face that I made. So passionate. Allegedly. Okay, guys. I think my thoughts are being drawn to the very real potentiality that you are operating at such an intense level and you're not realizing the level of intensity that you're operating at, right? Like you have become so accustomed to all sorts of different intense things happening. And you're kind of just like, yeah, it is what it is. I'm right there with you, baby boo. I'm right there with you. Earlier today, I was at the gym and I was like lifting super heavy. And because of all the stuff that has kind of just been, doing the Macarena through my mind, all of these different thoughts in the past week, things needing to be processed, it's affected my eating. It totally has. I don't know if you guys have been feeling it. It's something in the energy. It's something in our personal experiences, but it's definitely affected my eating. I haven't really had an appetite. So basically for the past week, I've been in a state of fasting. I can't eat is what I'm saying. I can't eat. And so what's happened, and this is important for us to kind of realize, what's happened is with the lack of food coming in, just because I just really have no appetite. And when I have no appetite, I can't force myself to eat or it will just come right out. Because of that, it actually works in our favor. The changes in your diet, the changes in your sleeping, it's usually indicative either of the level of stress, emotional hardship, or ascension mechanics. So, what am I trying to say? Well, if, like me, your appetite has been completely obliterated by whatever it is you're going through, um, it's this thing of like your body is not preoccupied with digestion. And if it's not preoccupied with digestion, what's it doing? Spiritual processes. It's focused everything on your ascension mechanics. So, but here's the thing, everything that's being stacked up on the energy side, on the spiritual side, that's gonna kind of dip on the physical side, right? You have to make sure that during this period, you are aware of some of the limitations that are kind of creeping up, a little bit of lessened strength, um, a shift in your mindset, a shift in your perception. Like, so today, um, I went ahead and I was at the gym and I was lifting what I could. um, I was pushing as hard as I could. And I was lifting heavier than usual, but not doing as many sets. So I was depleting a lot faster, but I was also recovering from that. I was able to continue lifting. And, sometimes when we go through this type of process and we don't realize how things are stacking up for us, we get to this space where we think badly of ourselves. We're kind of down on ourselves. We have this perception that we're not operating at the level that we should be operating at. We're not seeing our performance from the outside looking in, right? So it took this elder lady to come up to me. I didn't know what she was saying at first. I was in the middle of setting up for another deadlift, and I wasn't sure what she was saying, and I took off my headphones because I thought she was upset with me. I thought she was. I thought she was going to say, like, you're hogging all the weights, because I literally had everything. I was deadlifting heavy. And she points at the weight. So I take off my headphones, like, ma'am, please don't start shit with me at the gym. I'm kind of in a fragile emotion right now because I was frustrated with myself. And she says to me something along the lines of, "Oh my God, you're lifting so heavy. You're such a beast." I was like, "What?" She said I was a beast. And I was like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought she was going to say something not nice to me." And she's like, "Give me some." And I had to tell myself, don't grab her hand. She wants you to, like that. That's how she wants you to greet her. Don't grab the palm. And it was this thing of like, okay, so soul is letting me know that when I don't have the capacity or the willingness to see what needs to be seen about the way in which I'm still continuing to perform at a very high degree of of capability, capacity, strength, you know, soul will send someone to remind me everything is stacking up for you. And as things start to stack up, you'll quite possibly lose sight of how much you've already accomplished, how much you have done. Maybe you need a reminder of just how amazing you are. Let's see. Yep. I see it. All right. So you're quite possibly waxing and waning in your dedication to whatever process you're in. That's understandable if you're going through a very intense process. I mean, you're not going to be gung ho the whole time. There's going to be periods where you get tired, where you're exhausted, where you want and need a break, where you need a reminder of just how much you've already done for yourself, for others, whatever it is. Everything's being stacked up. So maybe we can look at this period in such a way where we recognize all of our energy is being allocated towards some profound thing that we're not yet aware of. We're not yet aware of what it is. So then, what needs to happen here? We need to allow that upside down cycle to end. We need to allow it to kind of, um, you know, come to a close, right? We need to allow ourselves to see clearly exactly what it is we're doing. And when you can let go of your commitment to seeing yourself in such a negative light, because far too many of us have this commitment of seeing ourselves in a very negative way. You let that go, you break up with that, boo, you're going to be balanced once again. You're just going to naturally find yourself back at center. Not only are you going to find yourself at center, you're going to see that all your parts are coming together as friends, right? This union that's happening between all of your parts. This is about you entering into a space, a state of wholeness, a state of totality. It's important. It really, really is. Okay. So, mhm. Yes. Okay. Yes. This is all good stuff. Your soul is giving you instructions on what to do. How you'll apply these instructions, you'll have to interpret that on your own, because there's like no cookie cutter thing, cookie cutter way to approach this, but this is the general gist of what your soul wants you to do. First, you are to use your intuition to guide you, to take you to the spaces within yourself, the spaces within um, your existence where you can give yourself permission to actually move forward from it. Man, woo, ooh, something huge is happening right now. Something huge is happening right now. And whatever it is that's happening, it's happening in your favor. Someone is being used as the impetus. They're the spark. The spark. uh something happening. There's something happening. So when is Mercury going to start behaving itself? Hold on. Mercury direct 2024. Is it on like the 25th or something? Oh, on the 28th. Hmm. All right. What signs are affected? Virgo and Leo. Okay. So the 28th. Hmm. Hmm. Today's the 19th, so 9 days. There's something that's being shifted. And whatever it is that's being shifted, it's being done so by your soul. It's being allowed. Things are being allowed to transpire because your soul is finally like, this this poor child of God has had enough. Yes, I have had enough. No, I'm serious. It's this sense of like, your soul has taken this lesson as far as it needs to go for you. That's not true for everybody, but for you specifically, right? It's gone far enough. And now it's time to pull back and start stacking. Pull back and start stacking. I don't know what that means, but it feels super important. Pull back and start stacking. Okay. I'm just going to let that go for now. For now. You need to have patience. You need to have patience as your awareness of the process you're in begins to further develop. Um, I don't know when you're going to find out what this is all about. I don't know when, but it's this assumption that you will find out exactly what this is about. And then it's going to help you to better understand why you need to have compassion for yourself. Y'all, my community, do I need to hold you by your shoulders and lovingly shake you like an etch-a-sketch so you create a different story in your mind about yourself and what you're going through? I mean, I'm willing to. I'm willing to. I'm willing to very lovingly hold you by your shoulders and shake you like an etch-a-sketch, just so that we can reset the picture. You can draw a new picture for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, Miami spiritual diva, you got this, boo. I saw the message. You got this. Everything will be fine. Keep your chin up. Everything will be fine. Okay? So compassion, right? Hmm. Compassion for self, first and foremost. I think sometimes the most compassionate thing you can do for yourself is to finally allow yourself to feel the genuine emotions that should be felt because of what you're going through, because of how you're being treated, the circumstance that's being forced upon you. Sometimes that's the most compassionate thing you can do for yourself. Just this acknowledgement that, you know what, this shit is unfair. It is. If you are someone who kind of just stays in your own lane and things are kind of being flung at you out of nowhere, yeah, that is kind of unfair. Let's acknowledge that. It's unfair. Um, okay. Now that we've acknowledged that, let's also acknowledge an equally, if not more important fact. You're strong enough to not just handle this, but to overcome it with grace and ease. This is something you've already been through before. It's just now, um, it's being allowed to repeat so you can make different decisions, select different options than what you did the last time. And if you're going to continue choosing the same options, babe, you're going to have the same experience you did last time. I refuse to have that same experience. I refuse. I deserve more than that. Girl, don't you start crying. mm. I deserve more than what I allowed to be done to me the last time. I deserve to receive the depth of love, support, protection, ferocious protection that I give to everyone but myself. I'm not going to repeat that. I'm just not. And whatever needs to happen to ensure it doesn't need to repeat is what will be selected. Because I deserve to know what it feels like to be on the receiving end of what I give. And I think the same applies for you. We are a community of people who just give so deeply, so wholeheartedly, with no ulterior motive, no plans, no strings, no nothing, just giving. You have a need, we can fix that. Let's fix that. That's the kind of community we are. That is the kind of community we are. Now that I guess you could say we've mastered how to love wholeheartedly with no strings attached. Um, we're being made aware that the reason we had to learn that was so we could do it to ourselves, for ourselves. The love and care that we take or give to others, give to anyone except us, right? We're not victims and we're not weak. We're just being presented with the reality that it's time to choose something else, to choose a different option, to have a different outcome, so that maybe we can feel the peace that we provide others, for ourselves for once, or maybe for the second time. I don't know. And if you've never felt it before, then yeah, let this be the first time. Let this be the first time. Let this be the moment where you finally love yourself in the way that you really have no problem loving even strangers. And I know you guys are capable of loving strangers just like I'm loving strangers and helping in whatever way that I can, right? So something is shifting, something profound. And that shift is causing you to awaken to the reality of what you deserve and how capable you are of having that, giving yourself that. That capability has always existed within you. You know, there was a conversation I had with Michael a very long time ago, and it was this thing of don't mistake other people's perceptions about you as though it was a reality. Don't make that mistake, okay? Don't receive their perception as though it was a reality, a factual thing about you. Because there's times where you kind of had enough. And these people, whoever it might be for you, family member, um, a friend, a relative, a coworker, I don't know. Whoever this person is, it's like they're so accustomed to having their way with you, to getting you to agree to do what they want despite how you feel about it. And now that you're refusing to do what they want, what they're demanding, what they're expecting from you, um, it's almost like they're trying to convince you that you're not doing it because you're incapable. And, it's time we correct that. You're not incapable, you just don't want to. There's a difference between not being able to and not wanting to. And maybe you don't want to and you're not doing it because you're stacking up your energy for whatever it is that's to come, something profound that's going to usher in the next part of your life. You have to believe in yourself. You have to. You have to believe in what you're doing. You have to. Sometimes I still greatly underestimate myself. I still greatly misunderstand myself. I still exist in a space of tremendous awe at how much my soul provides for me. The confirmations, the signs, the opportunities, all of these different things. It's just like, oh, wow. I'm serious. I'm serious. One of my friends mentioned that, like, you're still in so much awe of how much your soul provides for you. And I am. I am. And maybe we exist in that way because we still don't believe that we deserve everything that soul is giving to us. Maybe it's just time to believe that everything is being aligned for you because you deserve to be cared for at the same depth and height that you go to for others. And although there might not be anyone in your environment right now that has made you feel loved and supported to that degree as of yet, well, soul is making it happen for you. Soul is making it happen for you. For example, right now, I'm aware there's another attempt to try and magically harm me. Hmm. To those who continue to try and harm me while I'm live, you must not have seen my video where I stated that every time you try and do a hex or a curse or, you know, malignant magical processes to harm someone else intentionally because you're pissed off, because you're a bad person, because I don't know, because you have shit for brains. Who knows? Who knows the reasoning? I don't understand it. But there's a video that I made where I'm telling you it drains the youth, the vitality from your face. By the time this is done, you still will not have affected me, and you'll look like a fucking shriveled prune. Which, if that's the aesthetic you want, by all means, keep going. None of it's going to get through, though. None of it gets through. Do you see how unbothered I am? You know why? Because I'm allowing my energy to stack up for me and what comes next. Hmm. Not sure how living like that feels because I don't live that way. I don't. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of advice to give you outside of I'm going to stay youthful probably for the rest of my life. And you might think it's ego, but for me, it's just a declaration of fact, a fact that's rooted in the reality that I don't harm other people. I preserve my energy to build and heal and support. I don't know. Maybe you're just jealous because are we like the same age or something? But I look like what, 20 years younger than you? Maybe if you'd stop being the kind of person you are, some of your youth will return. Or keep being you, because really you're none of my business. You're none of my concern. I mean, outside of what's to come. And that won't have anything to do with magic. It won't. Everything is stacking up for me. Everything stacking up for me. If you guys notice, whenever the ugliness really, really just reaches a fever pitch, because it comes, it's like a waxing and waning thing, right? Whenever it reaches this like fever pitch, do you notice what happens? It's almost like the ebb and flow is pushing a paddle, some type of wheel, and all of that kinetic movement of the wheel generates more energy. And I don't waste it on bullshit. It actually just catapults me forward. It just catapults me forward. See, that was my trajectory, anyways. I was heading that way, anyways. But now the velocity, it increases. It increases. So, what am I trying to say? When there are things that are trying to get you to discharge energy that's unnecessary, it's a waste of your energy, it's a waste of your time. If you allow yourself to sit in stillness and use your power in a way that benefits you, not by using others, right? But by really sitting within your truth and allowing yourself to receive the messages and instruction from soul that helps you to put the next part into your manifestation template and bring it to full fruition. I mean, ooh, the type of goodness that occurs. It just, I will share this. All of these various pieces that soul has kind of been telling me about over the past several weeks, several months, before any current kaka. It's making sense now. It's making sense. And before it was a thing of, I don't know that I want that. I kind of just want to stay hidden, just kind of, flow in the space that I'm in right now. And just, I don't want progression. I don't want to be flung deeper into the public, because I just, I want my anonymity. And with everything, I'm kind of just, I think short of what's happening now, I probably stay in that mindset. But because everything is stacking for me, I'm now kind of existing in a space of like, my focus is being shifted. There's something about the way my mind functions. And I think quite a few of you in our community, your mind functions very similar to mine, where you are a quantum divergent, and whatever you set your sights on, you will hyper fixate on that, hyper focus on that until it comes to full fruition. And right now, just because I have this assumption, it's just an assumption on my end, that certain folks are sick and tired of seeing my face. Um, solely based on that assumption. I'm going to go ahead and push. I'm going to do a press junket. You know what that means? I'm going to push to be published across many news outlets. Social media is not the only space a person can exist. It's going to be unfortunate for those who are sick and tired of my face and my story, because people who don't know about me on social media will know about me through the news. It's going to be big. And I know you're like, oh, she's so full of ego. I find that people who are intimidated by the process of me realizing my full gravity, they like to dismiss it as ego. You dismiss it as whatever you want, but all you're doing is fueling my rise. So you're giving me a reason to step out of my comfort zone, just to be like, bitches, you can't fucking tell me what to do. You can't dictate to me the way I will exist. You don't want me to be seen? Ah, too fucking bad. Because that's the button I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep being seen by more and more and more and more and more. And I'm going to be fucking happy as it happens. I'm not going to be awkward and shrink away. I'm going to be my charming, adorable fucking self. Yeah. You know, I'm awkward. You know, I'm socially awkward because when I'm just myself, people fall in love with me. I don't know why, but they do. And that makes me uncomfortable. But you know, if only to annoy, I will allow myself to be myself in the most public way possible. And may everyone fall in love with me, my authenticity, and the goodness in my heart, because you can see it. You can see that I'm a good person through and through with no ulterior motives, just a good person, insanely talented, and in the eyes of some, for some reason, adorable. That's going to drive you nuts. I don't give a fuck. And every time you come on my live stream while I'm live to try and do energetic shit to me, magical shit on your altar, and you want to get some confirmation that you're affecting me, but unfortunately, you're hurting your own feelings. And you're like, no, she must be feeling it because why is she addressing me? Because Michael says, address this bitch. That's why. That's why I'm addressing you. I didn't notice any of it until Michael brought it to my attention. You're hurting your own feelings by continuing to try because it's really showing you I'm so far beyond what you thought you could handle. You're going to be okay. You're probably going to destroy yourself with your own actions, but that's not my concern. It's not my concern at all. These are things you choose. And as you continue to deplete yourself, I continue to stack everything up in my favor, meaning all my energy is for me and my community, meaning everything I do is to promote community empowerment and peace. And the more you try and compare yourself to me, the more you bring people to me and they juxtapose us. Your actions make me look even better. while my actions shine the light of truth on you. Notice I don't even have to talk shit about you. You're doing it all yourself. It irritates you. Good, because you're irritating. You're not my problem, babe. You're not my problem. Card number 12. Every journey starts with a single step. Take those steps. Take those steps. Okay. You can bring your emotional baggage along, right? If you want. Or you could leave that emotional baggage at home, right? It'll still be there. You don't have to carry it with you everywhere you go. You don't. You need a little bit of a break from, all of this stuff that's happened to you in the past. Leave that suitcase at home and kind of live life for a day or so without it and see how you feel, right? See how you feel. Excuse me. Diving for light. You got to go deep within yourself, right? Deep within yourself, find that light right now. I wouldn't be surprised if many, if not most, are surrounded by shadow and darkness. And maybe we need to frame that in a way that helps us to understand why. Because it's almost this thing of like, it's so easy for us to assume that we're surrounded by shadow and darkness because we're bad, because the world is evil, because this, because that, because we're weak, because we should be afraid, because just fuck all those ideas. I'll tell you the real reasoning. The world is still good. The world still has tremendous goodness in it. You exist in it. I exist in it. That outweighs all the bad. And the more you allow yourself to be witnessed publicly as you are, in the truth of your goodness, the more people will realize, oh, we can be good people. Yes. You don't have to be a reflection of a lesser consciousness. That's choosing to be a mediocre ugly. Speaking in general terms, of course. Some people are so sensitive. They can be like, she's talking about me. Actually, no, I don't know you. I'm speaking in general terms. So you don't have to be a mirror of that. You can choose to be yourself because what you are, who you are, as you are right now is fucking beautiful. It's good. It's good. You are good. You are beautiful. When we start doing that, you know what happens? We start to realize that maybe you're surrounded by shadow because the world has depleted you. And this inferno that you once were is now the dying embers. You're like these glowing coals in the darkness. And I don't know if you've ever been primitive camping, because I have. I love it. I love dry camping, primitive camping. I love just being left out in the wilderness somewhere. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. One of the things that I realized years ago as I was primitive camping high atop a mountain, at the darkest point at night, when it's the darkest of the dark, that glowing ember, because the fire is almost dead, man, it glows so bright. And really, all you need to do is put a little bit of fuel on there, some dry leaves, some type of flammable something, and then you just blow on it a little bit. And man, the way the fire comes back to life, the way that fire comes back to life. And maybe that's what this is. You're surrounded by darkness. You're being covered by some type of tinder, some type of kindling, right? Life feels very dry. And so You're being covered by that dry stuff. And then here comes some nasty folks talking shit, that exhale. It doesn't matter if they talk shit or goodness, it's the exhale that reignites that flame. Burn on, bitches, burn on. Just keep burning. Keep burning. It doesn't matter if your flame is reignited by the soft, gentle whispers of someone who loves you, or the harsh words of hater ass, jealous motherfucking bitches. Breath is breath to a flame. Catch fire and return to that inferno you were designed to be. Burn all that fear. Burn all your hesitation. You seem to have forgotten. It's God who co-signed you into existence. Fuck these people who don't give you permission to exist. They got a problem with you existing, they can take it up to Papa. You got a problem with me? Talk to my Papa. My Papa put you in your fucking place because I'm one of his favorites. He likes my sassiness. That's why he made me salty. Okay. Visions of life beyond death, but it's in reverse. So you don't necessarily need to be able to see the person you become after all of this. You just don't. What you need to do is be fully present through the process that you're in, just fully present. Dream a beautiful dream. And then allow your fuel to be used to bring that dream into full fruition. It's very simple. It's simple. It's so simple that the intelligent folks, which is all of you, in case you were wondering, all of you, you guys are highly intelligent. It's so simple. It's like that can't possibly be the solution. One of the hallmarks, and let me tell you, all of my children are profoundly gifted. Profoundly gifted. My youngest, my littlest, is talking about the fourth space. I'm sorry, sir. What? Profoundly gifted. So I'm very, very, very well versed in this subject matter. I'm very well versed in advocacy for profoundly gifted children. And one of the hallmarks of a profoundly gifted individual is that simple solutions are hard to comprehend. Complex solutions are very easy. You can make this as complex as you want, but the solution is still simple. It's all your choices. They're all your choices. Your choices are the very things that load onto your manifestation template, and you bring that into fruition. So choose what you want, not what you don't. Focus on what you want, not what you don't. When it's time to manifest something, you don't say, "Oh, I don't want a dog with I don't know." I don't know. I don't know what example to give. Oh, I don't want a job that doesn't appreciate me. Then what do you want? God's not asking you what you don't want. God is asking you what you do want. So a way to manifest. I want a job with much better hours and much better pay, a job where there's room for me to grow within the company, where they appreciate me and see the value of me. That's specific enough, but not so specific that you're tying the hands of your own soul. It's time for you to ask for what you want. Because I think for many of us in this community, what we want is actually what we deserve. And we're so accustomed to settling for less so that we can give to others more, that asking for what we want seems like we're being selfish. But you're not. Selfish people don't have that problem of wondering if they're being selfish. It's time you knew that. You're concerned that you're selfish. Selfish people don't care if they're selfish. They don't question if they're selfish. They just have this expectation that you need to give to them. That should be theirs. Why? Because it should be. It doesn't matter who worked for it or paid for it or earned it. It should be theirs. They want it. That's how selfish people are. Yet you're here. Like, don't you think that's selfish? Not at all. The fact that you're wondering, the fact that you're hesitating tells me you are so far removed from selfish. I don't know that you even understand what selfish is. Because even if you were faced with a selfish person, I'm pretty sure you would be like, well, I mean, there's enough for both of us. I could give them some, or I could just wait. They could have it and I could wait. Like, you're really gearing up to be shook like an etch a sketch. You are, huh? I won't shake you. Don't worry. Don't worry. I won't shake you. I won't shake you. Conscious connections, but it's in reverse. I think for some of you, you're dealing with someone who is not consciously connected to the full gravity of what they're doing. We don't make excuses for malignant people, though. Sometimes the only way for someone who's intentionally malignant to understand the full gravity and consequences of their actions and shitty behavior is by holding them accountable in ways no one has ever held them accountable. Let that sink in. This is the very reason why I'm going to continue to pursue legal action. I will not allow myself to repeat those old cycles where my own logic and compassion is weaponized and used against me. Absolutely not. No, no. That ugly cycle ends here. It ends here. I will not bring it into the next part of my life. I will not. I will not. I will not continue to be a version of myself that gives permission to malignant people to harm me with zero consequence. And that's how I know I'm learning and growing and evolving. That's how I know I'm truly progressing on that journey of self-love. Because until recently, I would have done absolutely nothing about it. It took a grown ass male sending thousands of emails threatening my life and the life of quite a few people, trying to geolocate me, to finally understand I allow people to try and victimize me because I don't enforce that boundary enough. No more. No more. Absolutely not. No more. No more. Your expectation needs to be right side up. Okay? You need to expect goodness for yourself. Your expectations should be calibrated to allow amazing, beautiful, good things for you, not just, it's only a matter of time before someone else does this. I'll make an example of everyone. Everyone that chooses to harm me, it will be the same response every single time until people who dislike me learn to dislike me with their mouth shut in private. Feel however the fuck you want to feel about me, keep it to yourself. Unless you're speaking factual truth, keep it to yourself. I don't give a shit how you feel about me. When was the last time you took that stance? I think this is the first time I've taken that stance. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? And realizing that helps me to understand exactly what it is that's stacking up for me. My personal power, my self-love, my capacity to see what I deserve. Hey, and awareness, the wound is healing. I'm not crying about it. Years ago, I went through some intense shit. It was a round of fucking straight up bullying again. I don't fucking know why. They think I'm really nice or something, and that I'm an easy target to be bullied. I don't fucking know. It was the same shit years ago. Same shit. And I withdrew. I pulled away. I withdrew. I tried to hide myself in the desert. And in my attempt to hide myself, I buried myself in a different type of work. I began writing chapters in the book that I'm to write about my life. And that fucking hurt my feelings more. These are patterns that extend from childhood. And so I stopped writing. I stopped writing because I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't stop crying. And at the cusp of having a full-on breakdown, Michael says to me, "It isn't finished healing if it still makes you cry." And maybe I'm not fully healed, but now I'm healed enough to fucking fight back. And that is a good thing. That is a good thing. Because if I don't fight for myself, and I continuously tell all of you in my community, you need to fight for yourself, you need to speak up for yourself, but I don't do it, that makes me a hypocrite of the worst kind. And I don't want to be that. I don't ever want to be that. So it's time for you to renew yourself. Your soul is giving you the opportunity to renew your perception of yourself, to see yourself in a different way. All you have to do is listen. Listen to what soul is telling you. Listen to what it's trying to get you to understand about the gravity of you, the importance of you, the beauty of your existence, even in the pain, even in the shadows, even in the things you don't understand that hurt you so deeply. You are beautiful. There is a beauty about you. And you have to allow the influence of soul, not me, but your soul, to be felt deep within you through all your phases and stages. Hold your peace gently. Do not cling to it as though someone could actually take your peace from you. Hey, look at me. Use me as an example. Quite a few people are trying to steal my peace. These fucking thieves of joy. Yet what have they stolen from me? Not a single fucking thing. They cannot steal my peace. They cannot steal my happiness. They cannot steal the community that has been built around me like a warm blanket on a cold day. People interwoven with the story of my life that cannot be taken from me by anyone. Same thing applies to you. Allow the alliance to occur. Allow it. Allow yourself to recognize that you are being paired up with those who have the capacity to wage a war that Whoever you're facing has never seen that degree of war. Dear Papa, thank you for everything. Everything. Especially for the hardships. Because it's in those moments that I learn just how much you love me and how much you're willing to provide. And it's in those difficult moments where I'm surrounded by darkness and dark intent from others that you are gifting me a very clear opportunity to see the full gravity of my light. And through every hardship, my needs have never been ignored, whether I knew what that need was or not. So, as grateful as I am for the goodness in life, the calm and the peace, the gentleness and the grace, I'm most grateful for the struggles, because it's in those moments that I'm gifted an even deeper understanding of how loved I actually am. Embrace this period, all of you. Embrace the periods where you are being shown the truth of your strength, your potential, your trajectory. Be grateful for every moment in life. Be grateful for the opportunities you are presented. I'm being presented with so much right now. By way of adversity, I'm being presented with so much, and I will fulfill everything I am presented. I will complete those tasks at a degree of excellence that will truly showcase the reason for my existence. Even if I don't understand what that is, whatever I do in this moment, it will help others understand. And if they understand, eventually I will as well. Guys, I gotta go. My sessions are starting. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. Most of all, allow yourself to truly receive the parts of the messages from this video and all my other videos that are meant for you. It's okay for you to understand and accept. You deserve goodness too. The messages promising goodness is not just for everyone else but you. I love you guys.